Sorry about that. Welcome, everybody, to DA After Dark. With me, as always, to kick it off, Sam the Man. Sammy, how are
Now,
you? It is January 27, cold as all get out on the East Coast here. We are freezing. I know there's a whole bunch of one-liners. It's so cold, and I'm not even going to go there.
it's colder than an Eagles offense in the second half of a game. Let's just say that. By the way, just for anybody that witnessed George's little 40-yard there to start the show, clocked him at a 4.9. So
God.
now when we tried to rough draft this, he was about a 5.8. So we're getting better. We're getting him down. One day he will catch Sean Ross.
Oh,
You heard it here first. Happy Tuesday, everybody. I've been freaking dealing with this cold weather. Let's go.
Oh man, I'm telling you, it is. We had what, negative 22 over here with the wind chill. It was. I got in this chair this morning to work, and I turned the little heater on. I was like, "All right, hurry up, heater! You need to work quickly," because this room was an icicle. Because I haven't been in it all weekend.
Yeah, I just want all our peeps on the East Coast, Midwest, wherever, Deep South, especially for what they're going through right now. I want everyone to show some appreciate. We're gonna start a new holiday here on DA After Dark. We're gonna have it I'm gonna schedule it now, starting today. Every January 27th will be Furnace Appreciation Day. Go to your basement or in your wherever you're first located, give it a birthday cake, give it a hug, tell them how much you appreciate them. Because I've been appreciating the hell out of mine for the past 2 weeks. Mine just kicked on now. Said hello.
I was going to say, very bizarre. I just got a thing here. It says, viewer comments will not be visible when streaming to a Facebook profile unless the stream is set to public. By default, the stream setting is friends only. No. I was going to say mine's public, so we shouldn't have any issue.
And if we do have any issues, I have on deck the tissues.
Oh, we'll keep our fingers crossed. Well, Sam, the late breaking news: Bill Belichick did not make the final cut down for the first ballot Hall of Famer for a head coach. As good as Billy it was, he did not make first ballot Hall of Famer. Are you surprised?
Surprised and somewhat annoyed because I know what I've said. Look, I know Tyler and I just brought this up last night on Unbiased. We were talking about the Patriot way and how Tom left, went and got another ring. Vrabel comes in a year after Bill. Well, a little over a year after Bill gets fired, gets him back to the Super Bowl. I get all that, but when you tell me that a head coach that has 8 Super Bowl rings, 6 as a head coach, 2 as a defensive coordinator, 9 conference championships, 31 playoff wins, which is first all time, 302 regular season wins, which is third all time, and 333 total wins. Is it a first ballot NFL Hall of Famer? Not to mention, was just a part of one of the biggest dynasties that we've ever seen in the world of sports. And as you know what, as much as we say that Vrabel brought back the Patriot culture and brought him back to that winning, don't forget who started it.
Right.
And the fact that and either way, whether you want to give the credit to Tom, the players, coordinators, whatever, Bill was still one of the greatest defensive minds we've ever seen in this sport. even in years where the Patriots defense was not good, they found ways to win playoff games and Super Bowls because of how they could attack that team. And the fact that all those things I just said doesn't scream first ballot Hall of Famer, what are we doing? This is becoming the base. What are we becoming the baseball writers of America? Is that
Yeah.
what? Okay. All right, guys. First of all, I agree with. I forget. I think it was. It was one. I think it may have been Schefter. I want to know the individual names on who did not vote him in. I gotta know. I need to know your name, and I need to know if you are an Atlanta Falcons fan. That's what I need to know. If you're still salty, I get it, but still, I need to know your name because you don't know the sport that you're voting this crap on. It's the same thing. And if people are like, "Oh, well, we're not putting him in for reasons," okay. You know, every sport has its freaking closet of skeletons, right? Like, how in God's green earth does a man who is basically one of the winningest head coaches we've ever seen, not a first ballot Hall of Famer?
Yeah.
I don't understand it. I don't get it. And I look, I know what I've said about the Patriot way and Brady and all that. I get that, but someone's got to coach the damn team.
And you were saying you're looking for who didn't vote. I mean,
I need
Even Patrick Mahomes went, "What? How is this possible?"
that man's responsible for my first ever AFC Championship game loss.
I'm,
I
I'm-
just,
because
I don't know what
there
we're doing.
was a reporter who said he did not vote at all this year, and he said, holy bleep." He's like, "I will never skip again." I'm like, dude,
Yeah,
you had no reason to be skipping anyway.
yeah, honestly, but it's just like we're at a point right now where we're like this is making almost like this is like basically what I say about Major League Baseball with Bonds and Clemens. Now it's a little different. I understand performance enhancing drugs, and I get all that, but it was okay for baseball to benefit off the revenue that crap made them. But you can't go in our Hall of Fame because of it. They're making a mockery of Hall of Fame voting with crap like this. You're
Yeah,
making a mockery of it. You're not going to put in guys that clearly deserve to be there.
yeah. There, I don't see any negativity on how this got missed. I really don't.
Yeah, like
I really don't. I'm just. I mean, I'm dumbfounded. I'm not gonna lie. And it's not like I'm a little biased either that he was, a Cleveland Browns coach too, and he held his own here, you know.
okay. So to get elected, you need 40 out of 50 votes. So do we know the exact number on what he got?
No, they
Because
didn't release it.
because it says he fell short of the 40 out of 50. So he didn't even get to the I need to know. I
Yeah, I would love to know. I would love to know the actual numbers.
I'm going
Wow.
through Schefter's art. I'm going through Shefty's article. I'm gonna see if I can. I'm gonna do some digging. Give me a second.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, and this is just pure ignorance. And I mean, as you like to say, we want to hear from the people. I mean, how you're just it's like you're flabbergasted by this. I mean, I didn't see one negative turn on. I mean, this should have been a slam dunk. I mean, it's like, guys, come on. You get Whoever does somebody else on his thing, even on Shefty's thing, even said, Damian Woody said, if you didn't vote, he said, you guys should never get a vote again. If you guys if you didn't make any voting. So it's not like some of these guys didn't even bother to vote at all for any of the categories or any of the people. Well, guess what? If you null and void it, yeah, you shouldn't have a say moving forward. Again, this is sports writers' ignorance, Sam. 100%. This is sports writing ignorance at its worst. I mean, it's an absolute joke when it comes to the baseball stuff. It's like, okay, hey, are you going to vote for this guy? Yes or no? And it's like, are you serious right now? Uh, just trying to see. Chado. Uh, oh, that's funny. So Miles Garrett's record-breaking jersey and helmet all showed up at the Pro Football Hall of Fame today and was put on display.
I saw that.
And Ocho Cinco put up I guess tweeted a whole bunch of eyeballs, and he said, "Hey man," he goes, "I asked for that jersey first." Whatever, dude. Whatever. Uh, that was pretty cool. That HOF was showing off that little tidbit earlier this afternoon. But yeah, when they're voting on the Hall of Fame stuff, I mean, come on, guys. You a lot of these players, it's like oh well, you need to have, you know, 70 to 80%. And it's just like, if you're in a final, like the NFL is making it down to a final groupings, but everybody should be voting. It's like, oh, well, I'm sorry, I'm not going to vote in this round. It's like, well, no. If you don't vote in a round, somebody else needs to get the vote. Somebody else should get to take your place in that voting.
Right. So
I
after
mean,
doing some detect,
just like the quote unquote senior class or classic, whatever they want to call it now. There's like a senior member who's missed their time, and it's like they'll be able to, Sam, I'll just reach right through the screen, buddy. Don't do it. Don't do it.
all right. So real quickly, so I did some detective work here. The exact number of votes he received was not disclosed, but we can confirm that it is more than 10 voters that did not select him. Fire them all.
I would inquire as to why.
Yeah, I need to know that too.
I know that there
I
is I know that there is discussion periods as they do these, because they've even explained about, why Art Modell still isn't in, and probably won't be, because he was the NFL villain of the for what he had done with the Browns into the Ravens, and even to start off with firing Paul Brown. So Modell's got a very poor evil track record, and I think that's why he'll never get in. But these guys discuss these things. So let's see. So the 10 sports writers are from Buffalo, New York, and Miami.
both New Yorks
Well,
and some Philadelphia and some from Philadelphia and probably a shit ton from Atlanta.
yeah, it could be from Atlanta.
Wonder if he only got 28 votes. 28-3. Yeah, this is just
Crickets, man.
this.
Not even crickets.
No, there's no crickets. They're all frozen outside. This is
Oh,
just like, again, it's a mockery to the sport. It's a mockery to Hall of Fame voting in general. You can be one of the winningest coaches in the history of the freaking sport that you coached in. You won 8 championships, 6 as a head coach, 2 as a defensive coordinator for the Giants, and you still can't get in. When you're top 3 in overall wins, postseason wins combined, like, what else do you got to do?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm sure Zolt's probably even thinking the same thing. I have no idea. What does the guy have to do? Have no idea. Not one. I sure don't.
I have no clue what I couldn't believe when I read that today. I'm like, well, once again, thank you guys for dropping the bombs on Tuesday. I get nothing.
Again, yeah. You know, aren't you glad at least you got us? You got this, at least we still get
Eh,
to cover.
it gives me stuff for next week too, so it's okay.
Well, let's move on from one joke to the next, since you're in such a jovial mood. The Pro Bowl.
This isn't even a joke.
Shadur,
This is just a punishment.
Shadur Sanders somehow surpasses, let's think about this for a moment, somehow surpasses and is the alternate for the Pro Bowl.
Well, hold on
So
now.
Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, CJ Stroud, Joe Burrow, just for S&G.
S&G.
So
Now we try to go PG with this show.
So 4 guys. 4 guys. I mean, you want to add anybody else to that list?
Well, first of all, the question is, I want to know how many guys said, I'm not going to this before they got to Shadur. Because that's the point now is this is where the Pro Bowl is.
Mm-hmm.
It's a joke. It's nothing more than it's basically an elementary school field day. That's what it is.
Oh, it's worse than that.
Probably.
It's
But
worse than that.
so yes, this clearly to me it screams, all right, how many guys can we ask? And they said no. So all the guys that you just brought up probably said, screw that. I'm not going there just for that. Even though it does pain me. I would love to see CJ Stroud find a way to fumble the ball 5 times in flag football. CJ, you fumbled the ball. There's no pass rush. Oh, God. But, no, yeah, that's where I'm at with this. It's clearly that somebody said, all right, who can we ask? Because all these other guys said, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I
Again,
mean, this is really, really stupid. One, you've got the Pro Bowl moved back in front of the Super Bowl.
stupid.
That's screw up number 1. Because now, if your Pro Bowler was or is in the Super Bowl, he cannot participate.
Yeah.
2, you used to have this thing in Hawaii all the time, and everybody loved to go to Hawaii.
Who doesn't?
Yeah. Where is it right now this year?
Is it not still in Hawaii?
No, it's going to be held at Levi Stadium. Yeah, the Pro Bowl game, the Pro Bowl games, as they're now calling it, will be held in San Francisco, California during the Super Bowl week, with the main flag football event taking place at the Moscone Center South building. So it's not even being played on a. It's gonna be just a little rinky-dink little thing where you're gonna see a whole bunch of guys just playing the flag football game now. Um, and of course, the skills competition, which earlier on I liked watching all that stuff, but now they've just made it just a pure mockery um, of the skills competition, especially with the quarterbacks. But
You're like that, and that's the thing. Not only did you take the game itself away, which by the way, Sean Taylor's turning over in his grave because of this,
mhm.
because but not only did you take away the game itself, now you took away the best place, the freaking tradition of going to Hawaii, which everyone loved to do. The players loved it, their families loved it.
But now you brought, they said, well, they weren't getting enough attendance in Hawaii. And my mom actually happened to be in Hawaii the week of the Pro Bowl one year. And I thought for sure, I was like, hello, really? There's your opportunity to go. And they had a hard time filling in the lower bowl section. And it's like, it's not like you have to charge an arm and a leg for this thing. But it's like, yeah, everybody enjoyed the fact that it was in Hawaii. You got your little bonus money, hey, listen, 45,000 for a loser and you got what, 70,000 if you won? Okay.
Now, well, I will say that
Hello.
though, George. I will say this. I could see that part about it being in Hawaii being a struggle with attendance because Hawaii itself is a tourist attraction. They don't need the NFL coming there and be a hit with freaking tourists. They already know what that's going to bring. But it was
But it
just,
was a
yeah,
usual thing. But the
yeah,
the
exactly.
the process changed when the defensive part of the game started getting taken away because they wanted to see nothing but scoring. It's like, hey, wait a minute. There's Pro Bowl defensive people too. And it's like, oh, well, nobody wants to watch a boring regular football game. Hello, it's the Pro Bowl. Yeah, you want to see your favorite best players play football like an all-star team. It's what you hope you get to see. But again, they started taking away the simplicity of defensive rules starting in the late 80s, early 90s. And then it all of a sudden became the defense couldn't even do anything. They couldn't even tackle. It's like, oh, geez, really? Come on, guys. And now you've totally made it a mockery that it's a flag football game. And what? It was a couple years ago. You had the guys making their own teams drafting each other. So
Hello,
you had
NBA.
AFC and NFC guys mixed in with each other. It's like, what the
NBA
heck?
is NBA. Is that you?
This was totally stupid.
I will
And like
say
I
there
said,
is.
you slid it the week in between. I mean, listen, I get it. You're not going to get big ratings off of it because you've cut it down so much. And you thought, what a great idea. Put it in front of the Super Bowl instead. And that way we keep all the interested football people watching the football game. Because it's like after the Super Bowl, oh, nobody cared. Well, hello, nobody still freaking cares. Even more because it's so much more of a joke.
Pro Bowl has just been again like There's no point to it. It's not like we're gonna do a pause like all these other seasons, like baseball. All-Star break in the middle of the season, get a couple days off, second half starts. Basketball, same thing. Their All-Star weekend's a joke now too, but I'm not here for that. Hockey probably does the best job with their All-Star
I
performances.
I agree. Hockey knows how to change it up just right, and their skills competitions are a lot of fun to watch. Not gonna lie. I like watching their skills competitions. That's pretty cool.
Baseball's it's still got some tradition to it, so I'm not hating on it too much, but
Hey, Sean. Yeah, nobody's cared. Sean, I don't think anybody's cared for the last 20, maybe even 30 years, ever since they started taking the rules away from the game. I think it's even longer than that.
well, it's good to see the Facebook comments are working.
Yeah, that it is a nice. So yeah, I mean, this has gotten just flat out stupid. And I mean, how far do you have to go? How far down that list? And Stephen A. Smith brought it up and he said this was a marketing thing for the NFL to do this. Thoughts on that aspect of that angle? It's like, well, yeah, you could have had CJ Stroud, Josh Allen, but like you said, who said no?
They probably all did.
You know,
I mean, I would have enjoyed watching CJ Stroud attempt to throw 4 interceptions in a flag football game. That would be kind of fun, but I
right,
mean,
Sean. First question of the night. What grade do you give Drake May during the playoff run? Hang on a second. We'll get there. We got to finish trashing this one. Nope, no pun intended. Yeah, Sean, I knew what you meant when they pulled it. Yeah. When they yanked it out of Hawaii, it's like, okay, is it a big cost factor? What was involved? And of course, they're never going to tell you. I mean, that was the big thing, was to go to Hawaii and play and do everything in Hawaii. I mean, like you said earlier, the families loved it, the players loved it. I mean, right now it's like, well, okay, who wants to go over to Frisco? Me personally, but it
you're
is what
right.
it is. But yeah, I mean, that had to be a lot of no's. But Sam, look at what the Pro Bowl voting is. Sam, the fans get to do the voting. You go right to NFL.com and the fans get to vote up to 10 times per IP address. Do you know how many spam bots you could turn around and set that up with? A lot. Me personally, I do more than just the basic voting of the guys. I go in depth. I go through and I do the tackles and the guards and the centers and the punters and the kickers. I go through the whole thing. But I'm not going to sit there and, I mean, unless there's a couple of guys who I think should go to roll through it, the voting thing twice, maybe. But outside of that, no, I do the voting thing one time. I don't have that much time to sit there and go through 10 times just to try to make sure my guy makes it. It's like, come on. I mean, almost 80% of that is all fan driven voting, and it's a popularity contest now.
That's all these things are now, popularity contests.
Yeah, it's not that they had a Pro Bowl career year. It's like right now you have to say it with a straight face. Shedeur Sanders, Pro Bowler in his rookie season.
Wow. So you guys fired the 2-time coach of the year who made Shador, a Pro Bowler. Wow.
I can't.
Dude,
I'm
that
glad.
Shador, I
I'm
can't
glad
wait to
you
see what he
could
can.
say it. I couldn't say.
I can't wait to see what Michael Penix looks like next year,
Oh my god.
if his knees allow it.
Yeah, Justin. I think Justin may not have any hair tomorrow night when he catch up with these guys on talking about balls. I don't think Justin's going to have any hair. I he's just he's got to be beside himself tomorrow night. I don't know how disgust he may not. He may go. You know what? We're not doing a show.
You should make a slide for them for tomorrow that's just labeled cold as because it's
Now
cold.
that I think about it, I think they are skipping this week because the Super Bowl's not till the next week. So I think they are actually off tomorrow.
Well,
I'll
that's
have
like
to
us.
double I was gonna
We're
say
off Friday.
I'll have to double check with oh my god, it might be a good thing he's off tomorrow. Oh
Yeah, because I
my
mean we're
god.
off Friday. We're not doing a show on Friday this week because there ain't nothing to talk about. I ain't doing a Pro Bowl game. I'm not doing a Pro
Oh,
Bowl
you're
game
not doing
because
a Pro Bowl pick 'em? Come on, AFC,
it's
NFC. You can burn up
the
a whole
fattest
3 minutes.
part of my behind. I got a little something interesting here that just popped up on the old Twitter.
What dug up?
So this is according to Zachary Rosenblatt, who is a senior writer for The Athletic who covers the Jets. The Jets reached out to John Gruden about the idea of joining Aaron Glenn's staff. Gruden was not interested in the job.
No kidding. Because
Yeah.
if anything,
Well,
Gruden, and in fact, I'm still surprised because Gruden said he would come and coach in Cleveland. He put that out there. Andrew Barry, are you stupid or something? Really? You wouldn't take Gruden, huh? I would. That guy does more layered homework than any coach I've ever seen. And that's when he wasn't coaching and he was commentating. Speaking of that joke, do I got him on here? Uh, hang on. There we go. There we go, Sam. Head coaches. Let's talk about them. As you can clearly see, the winners already, and then we still got 3 losers in the corner. Here's the most entertaining thing of all. The Buffalo Bills, the last team to this dance, have not had a head coach in only 9 days. They hired a guy who went through a gazillion interviews and turned around and still got a guy and promoted within. And the Browns and the Raiders and the Cardinals have had 4 weeks. Loser.
all right. So if it's okay, real quick, can I go
Go,
and give
go
my
ahead.
letter grade for all these current hires?
I was gonna roll right along that with you. Yep. I was gonna say, let's go.
All right. Well, let's start. I'll go from Brady to Harbaugh. We'll start with Brady. I'll give this is kind of. I actually, it's funny. This was actually my YouTube short today that I made. So I mean,
Well, kind of that's cool. All right.
let's look at something. It's a guy that the offense is familiar with. I said this when they fired McDermott. What did I say? It was either going to be Brady or Dable. It was going to be one of the two guys that Josh Allen loved to coach again. Despite the fact that the Bills have probably the worst wide receiver group amongst playoff teams from this year, still, we're tied for 4th in the NFL this year in points per game. They were 3rd in the league in total yards, and they were the number 1 rushing attack in the league this year. All they have to do is get some competent wide receivers that are not 40-year-old Brandon Cooks. But
AJ
it's
Brown.
I told you, give me one of those tight ends and a second rounder, maybe a fifth, and we'll talk. Because here's how I look at it, right? I still have Devontae Smith. I could sign a free agent wide receiver. I could draft one, but I also have Dallas Goedert, who's a free agent. So I kind of fill a void. I lose AJ Brown, but if I get Dalton Kincaid or Dawson Knox, at least I have someone there.
Right.
But that'll be a birds of the gridiron topic one day.
Yeah.
Because
So
that's going to be big topic heading into free agency for us. But
the promotion within, what do you give Buffalo?
I'll give it a B minus, only because it's a good hire for Josh Allen. I know. I mean, let's be real. Josh has played some of his best football under Brady, but again, difference from being an offensive coordinator to a head coach. There's a difference.
Exactly, and
Mike McDaniel's a great offensive mind. He's a shit head coach.
Yeah, exactly. I don't disagree. We've seen that a couple of times. I'm not gonna disagree with you. I was gonna is keeping solid letter grades. I was thinking a B because you don't know what this could look like for him to be the head coach. So yeah, I'm not far off with you on that.
All right, so
Moving
let's
on to
go
the
over.
Ravens.
Okay. This is going to be this is where it gets interesting because here's what I said. I said this the other day too. I feel now it's not it's not, I mean, it's kind of jealousy. It's kind of jealousy, but it's not. Okay. Do you not think that just 2 years ago, Mike McDonald was in the Ravens building as their defensive coordinator? And now that they have fired John Harbaugh, how much it's burning their asses that Mike McDonald is having the success that he is having right now. What I believe is that them hiring Jesse Minter which, first of all, by the way, Jesse Minter is a great defensive coordinator. Chargers defense has taken a complete 360 since he got there, which, ironically, who replaces John Harbaugh? His brother's right-hand man on the defensive side of the football. I find that very funny.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Minter could be a really good head coach because, George, regardless of our opinions, there are just teams in the NFL, their history of their identity is their defense. The Ravens are one of them. Even though they got Lamar in the offenses, but what do we always talk about? The 2001 Ravens. That defense was amazing. When you talk about the greatest Ravens of the past 20 years, do you ever hear, oh, well, Joe Flacco, Ray Rice? No, you hear Ed Reed, Ray Lewis, Terrell Suggs. That's who you talk about. Shout out to, once again, one of my favorite underrated Ravens, Haloti Ngata. Big motherfucker. I love that guy. It's a shame the Eagles got him when he was 38 years old. It's a damn shame. But anyway. But I feel like this is the Ravens trying to replicate Mike McDonald and what he's doing in Seattle. I think Jesse Minter could be a good coach. I think he's got the qualities. Oh, by the way, he's been learning from one of the best to do it. He's been learning under Jim since Michigan.
Yeah.
So now,
so there's going to be some Harbaugh similarities there.
yeah. So I'm going to get for Minter. I'm actually going to say, because I like the fit, I see what they're trying to do. I'm going to give this one a B plus.
I think it was a stretch. I know that they wanted to try to push for this, but I think this is going to come back to haunt them. I'm not crazy about this, and I know I just said because of the Harbaugh similarities here, and knowing that offensively Baltimore needs something huge, and I thought that they were going to go more offensively driven versus taking this step back defensively, because I thought defensively they were okay. Um, I'm actually giving this a C plus. Um, because of that, I think because of the Harbaugh similarities, I think they're still going to get a lot of the same thing. Let's see who else he brings in. But
Well,
at the moment, I'm gonna say C plus on this, dude.
yeah, that's fine. And like, see, certain
Just from the
coaches on
outside
this,
looking in, you know.
certain coaches have to hit on hires. I'll tell you right now, the next guy's grade went up after today for me, and I'll tell you why. But if I'm looking at Jesse Minter, he's got to hit on his offensive coordinator hire because having Lamar Jackson, yes, but already hit on a big hire yesterday. They hired former Falcons because remember, Stefanski brought Callahan over with him to coach the O line in Atlanta. So
Anthony says, I'll still give Lamar Jackson 2 years. After that, trade him. I don't think he's going to be worth anything by then, Anthony.
his legs will be shot by then.
I was going to say he'll be he'll be toast. Baltimore will be looking for another quarterback.
But yeah, so anyway, so we saw Stefanski come out and he took Callahan with him to Atlanta to coach the offensive line. Atlanta then let go of Dwayne Ledford, who was the O-line coach. And you see how good that Falcons O-line is?
Mm-hmm.
Jesse Minter hired him yesterday to be his O-line coach and his run game coordinator. So the guy that was the run game coordinator for Bijan now gets Derrick Henry and a chance to revamp the Ravens O-line, which needs some work. That's a
Yes, it
big
does.
time hire. So
Yes, it
now,
does, especially on that left side. Oof.
if he hits on his OC, which I'm going to be interested to see. Now I know he has to hire a defensive coordinator, but let's be real. Jesse Minter's calling the
Yeah,
plays on defense. Who gives a shit? It's
right.
like, oh, well, who's this? Who's the Seahawks D coordinator? Their head coach, jackass.
Right.
So I'm going to go B plus because I love Jesse Minter. I've loved it. I liked watching his defenses in Michigan. I loved watching it with the Chargers. I hate the fact that my quarterback's worst game of his career came against him, but I like it. He has to hit on his offensive coordinator though. That could push to an A for me. It could push to an A because of how much I like him. So it'll be
Or would it
interesting.
drop him? Or would it drop him to that C plus
I
if he
would. It
misses?
may if he misses. Yeah, it really could. So, but I do really like where Baltimore is with this. The only knock I may say with Minter could possibly he's going to be a head coach eventually because of how good of a defensive coordinator he is. It may be a little early. Maybe. It could have been a year or two, maybe early, but we'll have to see.
Next up, my buddy Robert gets opportunity number 2 with the Titans. Um, yeah, bumming that the 49ers lost him again. It's like, dang it. Can't you just turn around and give him money?
It's all right,
Come
George.
on,
If they
York.
suck, George, it's okay. If they suck for 2 years, they're going to fire him. They're going to give Dable the head coaching job, and then he's going to come back to San Fran again.
Listen, I know how much of a cluster bomb the Jets were. I mean, just ask poor Aaron. He's stuck with that nightmare. Um, Tennessee, they've got some promise there. We already
Let's
saw right now Robert ain't playing this time. Is he, Sam?
let's look at this, right?
Right? Let's
You
see who
you
his. Go ahead. Run them
you
off.
bring in him. he is inheriting on the defensive side of the football Jeffrey Simmons, who, by the way, if he wasn't in Tennessee, is arguably one of the top 5 defensive players in the league. The only reason you don't hear about him, he plays in Tennessee.
Right.
He gets him. He has Amani Hooker, who's one of their safeties. He's a really good player. They're inheriting talent there. They're about to have over $100 million in cap space this offseason.
Yep.
They possess a young the quarterback of their future on his rookie deal, who was the number 1 overall pick last year. They now possess the 4th overall pick in the draft, which you can either go get a wide receiver, a really good defensive player, or fix that dog shit offensive line you have, which is always another good option. But
yeah, I think Tate ends up in Tennessee.
that's what me and Tyler said, man. Just go draft
I
Tate,
think
go
I
sign
think
out.
you go and get Tate. You go get somebody for your quarterback, and Tate
Here's
is
the
a
thing.
great option.
And Cam Ward loves to throw the football down the field. So guess what?
Mhm.
All right, we're taking Tate at number 4. We're gonna sign Alec Pierce away from the Colts. Cam, chuck that shit. Someone's down there.
Yeah, and I think Alec, and see, I'm glad you brought him up. I thought Alec Pierce has been so very underrated and underutilized in Indy. I'm shocked on how poor that they just. It's like, wow, he's just an afterthought guy. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Well, I really think it's that. See, in that situation, I don't think the underutilized and afterthought are a good way. It's just the Colts have so many damn weapons now. I mean, they have Jonathan Taylor, they have Tyler Warren, they have Downs and Pittmaner, who are also really good wide receivers. Don't forget, the year before they drafted Tyler Warren, all 3 of those guys had 800-yard seasons. It is very hard to get 3 wideouts 800 yards apiece. It's hard enough to get. Ask the Eagles. It took us enough to get 2. These guys
Well,
did 3.
yeah,
But
but guess
if
what? Pierce should have had his though too. He's been there now. He's already been there his full rookie contract. So
I agree.
yeah, it's like, hey, guess what? You utilize him just like an Edelman, dude. Yards up the wazoo, first down,
Yeah,
first
but
down, first down. It's
Not yeah, but
exactly
not
what.
only that, he honestly, I'm going to disagree with you on that. He's not built like Edelman. He is a 6'3" deep threat. He had 1,000 yards on under 50 catches. He's a big play threat down the field, and he's only going to be 26 years old. So not only are you signing a 20, if the Titans go the route that what you and I are
We're
talking about,
thinking,
what Tyler and I talked about, if you draft Tate and sign Alec Pierce, you're not getting an old head and a young guy. You're getting 2 guys, one young guy and one guy in the prime of his career that you can build a tour with your quarterback with. Then, not to mention, you still have Tajay Spears and Tony Pollard, who ran for 1,000 yards in your backfield, and
yeah,
they drafted Gunnar Helm last year, and later in the year, Gunnar Helm got better. So guess what? While those 2 are running vertical routes, Gunnar Helm's just going to sneak over across the middle of the field like, hey, guys, how you doing? Right here.
yeah, and
There's things that, and oh, by the way, Tennessee's getting a new stadium in 2027. This is a
right,
lot better of a landing spot for Saleh than the Jets were. And just remember, the Jets defense was awesome under Robert Saleh. And
mhm.
this is the one, this is what, and here's what I'll already tell you. Robert Saleh has already learned what he did wrong. He said, okay, I got to go to Tennessee. I got my big guy. I got the guy I'm building my defense around in Jeffrey Simmons.
And who
I
did he get
cannot.
as OC, by the way?
That's my point. That's where I'm going with this. He said, I need to worry about this side of the football. I need to give the offensive side of the ball to somebody who I don't have to worry about it. And he goes and gets Brian Dable.
And I'll tell you right now, that's why I'm giving his grade pretty much a solid A.
I'm at a B minus right now. It was low.
Ooh,
I had it in the well, hold on. I had it lower. I was at a C plus because I really could be only because when you look at a team like Tennessee, you have Cam Ward. I was thinking of someone that could develop him. So I put it at a C plus because Robert's a defensive guy. That's why I was at a C plus at that moment. Then he hired Brian Dable, and I'm like, okay, I'm in. Because see, this is what great defensive minded head coaches do. Mike McDonald said, okay, I'm going to go over here and rebuild the Legion of Boom, except I don't have a Legion of Boom. I have just a Legion of freaking. I have the freaking Eiffel Towers on defense now, so I'm going to worry about that. Hey, Clint Kubiak, here's my offense. Go make it one of the better ones in football. I'm not going to bother you.
And like you said, look how much money he has to spend. You don't think that he can't go get some people?
Exactly. Is it March yet?
I think he can pull off what Chicago and Jacksonville and Seattle have all done this year and flip that around from a poor losing record season to a 1 year flipper and turn around and get them onto a positive record.
That division? Absolutely. I mean, let's look at something. We don't know what the Colts are going to be next year with Daniel Jones' injury if he even resigns. The Jags will still be good, I think. I think the Jags are set up really good.
I think the
But the
Jags are
Texans,
set up very well. And since you brought them up, here is something very important for everybody to understand, especially for Cleveland, is Udinsky turned around and bailed out again. He never did any play calling in Jacksonville, just an FYI. That was Liam. Liam's doing all the play calling. So that's what a lot of these organizations who interviewed him found out, was that he didn't do the play calling. So they already stated earlier today, as a matter of fact, that he's just going to stay in Jacksonville and be the OC because he still needs a lot of work. He still needs more grooming, in all fairness. So, yeah, for the Cleveland fans who are kicking and screaming, calm down. It was never going to happen. It just wasn't going to happen. So, yeah, Jacksonville, I think you're right. Jacksonville will definitely be there. Houston, let's see the Jekyll and Hyde game and see if somebody can work on CJ Stroud's mental game, because whew, that boy's got issues. So, yeah, like you said, the Colts, hey, ownership's not playing around. Nope. So they better get their act together pretty quickly. If they don't, I mean, yeah, I could totally see Tennessee and that whole division. That could be like the NFC West from this year, Sam.
Yep.
That could be. Am I wrong?
You're not.
Because if the Titans, the Jags, and the Texans would all be the three front runners in that division, woo, buddy, that'd be something interesting, like the AFC North several years back. And speaking of bailed out coaches, let's move on to Stefanski. Hotlanta.
I'm going to give this one a B. Because, again, and I'm not saying this to be insulting, but there are two places where I cannot fairly judge you how good of a coach you are. One is Cleveland, one is the Jets. I can't judge you fairly. I'm where my grade comes in. Well, now, first of all, let's also be aware he's brought half the damn Brown staff with him. He brought Callahan over. I believe Tommy Reese came with him too.
Yeah.
So, in some instances, I grade it off of what did they need, and Atlanta, in my opinion, needed an offensive-minded coach. They tried the defensive one. They tried Raheem Morris, didn't work. There's too much good talent in Atlanta to waste on defensive-minded head coaches right now. You had Drake London, who's coming into his own. Bijan Robinson, who is the best running back in freaking football currently. And, I mean, Kyle Pitts, if he resigns, had a decent year. Maybe Stefanski can bring something out of him. I mean, look what they were doing with Harold Fanning Jr. in his rookie year. Maybe that could be Kyle Pitts next year. So,
yeah, Anthony, they gotta figure out the OC slot, and then we'll see what happens.
oh. And people claim that offensive coordinators don't want to coach my quarterback. Meanwhile, let's look at the crybaby in Baltimore. That's
So
one shit, by the way.
I agree with you on Stefanski, by the way. A
Yeah, because
B
I mean, like,
a B is a pretty solid. I'd almost say B plus because you're right. Atlanta has a lot of offensive talent there and they need this flip.
but my favorite staff hop move he's already done is nothing to do with Callahan or Tommy Reese. It's that he retained Jeff Ulbrich as his defensive coordinator, who was in Atlanta last year as Raheem Morris's defensive coordinator. The Falcons set a franchise record with 57 sacks last year. Xavier Watts, as a rookie, tying Deion Sanders for the most interceptions by a Falcons rookie. James Pierce, 10 and a half sacks as a rookie. They've got some building blocks. Jalen Walker had a strong rookie season. They're building. They have AJ Terrell over there playing as their number one corner. Oh, and they still have Jesse Bates, who's an all-pro safety. The Falcons defense played really well last year, and they gave, not only did Stefanski keep Jeff Ulbrich, they gave him a 3-year extension.
And that's why I think, as I'm saying B plus, because I think if everything looks and aligns the way it does, and Stefanski even goes ahead and gets another wide receiver, you're looking at the new NFC South division champs next season. I'll make that
Yeah,
bold prediction right now. I'll
I could
make it.
agree. They have the talent to do it. They had the talent
Yeah,
to do it this year. They just, not a good coach.
exactly. And I'm going to say it's B plus to almost A minus for me on this one because I think that's exactly what Atlanta needed. 100%.
I
So
agree.
I'm going there.
I completely agree.
This this next one's a little perplexing. The Miami Dolphins,
I'll make it quick. I'm giving this one. I'm giving a
what
C. I
she
don't.
said.
I, I'm giving. Yeah, she. Yeah. Well, honestly, that this will be quicker than that. But anyway, I'll give it a C. I just don't know what the hell the Dolphins are at this point. I like Jeff Hafley. He's a great defensive mind. The Packers defense was playing great till his best player got hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say
But
he's
what's
already made a good
Miami
hire.
got? Miami's defense is Swiss cheese. He's got a lot of work ahead of him.
Well, he already. Well, yes, and again, another defensive guy who's going to call plays. Probably he's going to call defensive plays. So once again, another guy has to hit on his offensive coordinator hire. Bobby Slowick is their new offensive coordinator. A guy who, in my opinion, got scapegoated in Houston. By the way,
Yeah.
so I love that. I love that hire. Pissed off that they hired him and not the Eagles. But I'll wait to talk about the Eagles offensive coordinator another day. But I'll give it a C. I'm giving it a C strictly because the Dolphins are a fucking disaster.
I was going to go with a D because it is a disaster. I mean,
I don't know what.
they absolutely should be looking to it's you're going to need to draft a quarterback who you are going to need to develop for the next 2 years at least to come in and then take over and be your guy in charge. You need to draft that quarterback now so that way in 2 years you're ready to go.
I heard. Well, here's the thing. I've heard a rumor that they've tried to tell Tua they're moving on from him, but they've wanted to have a face-to-face meeting. He's so damn concussed he forgets where the facility is.
Yeah, because they told, when they benched Tua and they put in uh the Texas kid, it was like, okay, but guess what? Ewers isn't the answer either.
No.
He's not. And it's like, guys, you need to go get your quarterback. Where are they picking this year? Where's Miami picking?
One moment, please.
Sorry, I didn't have that. Didn't have
I
that
got. I
window
got you.
available. So just
Gotcha.
wanting to check on that. In the meantime, uh, I know Cleveland. I, I love I love how these people are like, oh well, we've got a source that says this, dude. You are not even a credible Twitter source. Shut up. So, for everybody who's waiting for the dude from the Rams, waiting for Nate, waiting for Todd, or basically just waiting for them to hit on Schwartz, excuse me, to promote within, that's been the big problem. Every single one of these, and they mentioned it this morning, they're saying that Jimmy Haslam is interfering and saying that, hey, listen, whoever comes in here, we want you to keep Jim Schwartz as the DC. And these guys are going, but that's not what I want. That's not who I want. So when you keep hearing about these guys pulling out and they don't want to deal with this mess, that's why. We have ownership trying to turn around and make football decisions and not letting the football guys make their football decisions. This is getting to be, and I hate to say this, Cleveland, but you have a Jed York on your hands. Welcome to San Francisco. They're now officially mirroring each other. Oh, how ugly.
Just well, first off, I kind of understand that that kind of stuff because the Eagles kind of do that too. Cliff Kingsbury was going to be the offensive coordinator last year over Kellen Moore, but Cliff Kingsbury wanted to bring in a new offensive line coach, and Jeff Stoutland is a non-negotiable in Philadelphia. So, and also back to what you were asking earlier, the Dolphins pick 11th in this year's draft.
Ugh. Yeah, you're not going to get one of those top QBs this year.
Hey,
Not from
Tay Drew
11.
Aller at 11.
Huh?
Tay Drew Aller there.
Yeah, but I mean, if you stick with Ewers, probably one more year, because everybody knows next year's quarterback class is the big one
That's true.
again. So you're really not going to get much at 11 unless
Take
you
the best play.
decide,
Take the best player available.
yeah. Uh, next up, joke number, I don't know, 2, 3, 4.
And I gave you my legitimate grade, and I know
You know
you're gonna
what?
laugh at
You
this.
know what? No. I want to. I'm gonna skip him, and I'm gonna. I gotta skip him. I have to skip him, and we go to Harbaugh. We'll come back to Mike. We got to come back to Mike. Let's go to Harbaugh with the Giants first. I've got a little too much to banter on with the Pittsburgh, so let's go to John.
I mean, it's easy. It's to me, it's an A plus. I mean, you get a guy in here with a proven track record of winning. Yes, I understand the Super Bowl was back in 2012. I understand all that crap, but it's a guy that had a winning culture in Baltimore, has longevity at the last place there. I mean, he was there for a long time. Ravens were always in the thick of things in the AFC. Giants needed. I mean, the Giants head coaching hires recently have been. I mean, we're talking about a team that has employed Ben McAdoo, Joe Judge, Pat Shermer. Like, what the hell are we doing, guys? Now, okay, I think Dable was a good coach. I don't blame Joe Shane. How Joe Shane still has a job, I have no idea. But Harbaugh basically is now the adult in that room.
Yeah, and I think their draft this year should go, I think, extremely well.
Well, hopefully Harbaugh walked in there and said, Joe, let me explain something to you. Do you want to know what makes a successful NFL offense in today's game? What's that? A running back? Yes, we have that, Joe. A quarterback? Yes, Joe, we have that too. A wide receivers? We have that too, Joe. A decent tight end? Joe, we have that too. Do you know what will destroy all of that in one fell swoop? If the five fat bastards up front can't block and you haven't drafted more than what?
Yep.
Well, John Harbaugh is pretty known for over in Baltimore having some pretty good damn offensive lines. So,
Yeah.
and he's already filling out his staff. He's bringing Denard Wilson over to be his freaking defensive coordinator. I hate that move because he's a former Eagles coach. It seems like Todd Monken's going to be over there with him too, unless he gets a head coaching job, which I don't see.
Well, that's who Cleveland's got in lockdown at the moment. So
Ah.
they're waiting. It's like, okay, we'd like to know what the hell Cleveland's waiting on. It's like, hey, stupids, anytime now. What are you waiting on?
Hey, now.
So yeah, it's been a whole 27 hours and nobody's heard squat, and it's just like, wow, okay. I thought it was hilarious when they said, well, while Nate was being interviewed, quote unquote, for 7 hours, Sam. 7 hours. You're in a 7 hour interview, and I joked. I know I joked on your show last night, saying, he was writing out his essay. His agent comes in and goes, "Hey, Buffalo wants to talk." And I'm sure he went, "What the hell am I doing this stupid essay crap? And I got to bake a dozen cakes and cookies and, recite the Declaration of Independence, all that." No, you interview the damn guy. It's a job interview. This isn't a high school freaking essay exam, whatever. It's not a midterm, you morons. This
This
is
isn't college
hiring.
recruitment.
It's
What are
a
we
job
doing?
interview. It's a job interview.
All right.
When
So
that
here's what
crap got leaked out about the Browns quote unquote process, when they said they had to write an essay, I went, for the love of God, Jimmy Haslam's running this ship. Yes, he is. Because any GM would know that that has got to be the dumbest thing you'd ever turn around and have somebody do. That has got to be the stupidest thing ever. What's your essay going to be about? Why I want to be the Cleveland Browns head coach. You have got to be crapping me.
all right.
Seriously?
So here's where I'm at with the Browns. I don't think Nate Shieldhouse is ready to be a head coach anywhere, not just Cleveland, anywhere. I like the idea of Jim Schwartz. I
I
already
do
gave you
too.
my I
It's
already gave you my opinion on that. Now, here's
and
where
it
I'm
should have
at.
been in his contract, just like, because according to the Rooney Rule as well, is if either of your coordinators, it can be in their contract that if the head coach is termed, that you would get the offer of being the replacement. They would not have to turn around and comply with the Rooney Rule because it was in the coordinator's contract. That would be their way to supersede it. So, how the heck you weren't going to have a guy like that have that in there, especially knowing that, you know, hey, at the time things are going great. It's just like, well, you want to have a backup, you want to have a contingency plan. That would have been it. Why you would have been wasting your time for 5.5 weeks is beyond me.
I agree. But now, if it's not going to be Jim Schwartz, I
Yeah.
don't think it's going to be Shieldhouse. I don't even think it's going to be Todd Monken. I have a really good candidate for the Browns that they should look into. You need somebody that has been around that organization in the past, somebody who gets the city of Cleveland through all the ups, all the downs, all that stuff. I got a perfect head. He's a young, up and coming offensive mind. He's a loose cannon. He's going to get the best out of his players. How about calling Johnny Manziel and see what he's up to?
Wow, we just lost the only two viewers we just had. Way to go, Sam. Boy, you know how to kill a show. Damn. I mean, damn, that's worse than a bruiser joke. Ouch.
But in all seriousness, I again, like I said, no top quality head coaching candidate is going to look for that as a destination right now, strictly because Jimmy Haslam's a nut job. And secondly, there's no future because of the situation with the cap space and the contracts and Watson. That is why Jim Schwartz has always been the perfect option. He can transition you out of that. And then when it's time to move on, he'll probably, and it's time to go find the next, Mike McDonald or, whoever, then you'll be in a better shape. But for now, you have to transition out of this mess that you're in.
Well, here's my thing, and this is if Haslam needs to start. See, Haslam started as a minority owner with the Steelers. Okay, somebody apparently wasn't taking good notes because the Steelers have had very, I'll forget, very extremely little turnover in the head coaching department. Yes, they've gone through their share of coordinators, but that head coach has been the most consistent thing. Browns fans, you wanted Stefanski gone. You said, oh, he sucks, this, that, and the other. Sam, as you like to say, be careful what you wish for because you just might get it. So you know what, Cleveland? You kept screaming like a bunch of morons. There you go. Now you're even more of a laughing stock to the NFL fan base than what you already were. You're gonna, it's just mind-boggling. Now, granted, and by the way, I agree with you. The Giants nailed it all the way with Harbaugh. But now we'll move into the joke 2.0, and that's the Pittsburgh Steelers, because the Steeler fans are out of their ever living mind going, my God, we didn't get 10 years younger. We got 10 years older in their head coach. They're like, that's not what they were looking at. Sam, listen, they're saying this is all so we can turn around and get Aaron Rodgers for one more year. Huh? What? I'm sorry. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. I'm sorry, but I'm going to put this one out there. For as detrimental as the McCarthy Dallas situation was, Pittsburgh's got a big fat D minus. They almost failed this. Almost. Oh my God.
Oh,
Hang on, Zolt. Nope, you're good. You're good. Hang on.
I hear
Let's,
voices.
let's hang on, Zolt. Let me work that out.
Is he inside my head? Where are these voices coming from?
What? No, see, why is that the way it is?
Hang on.
Because this is
I
what you
got.
get when you change something and have only learned it for a week.
Nah, it's there. Yeah, it's. I don't know why it still tinkering with it and figuring the things out. That was kind of weird that it just didn't let you kick back in on the other link.
Weird.
But hey,
Hi.
ironically, I was going to say mine was the only one that it actually held its.
I mean,
It was
hell, if
odd. It
anything,
held it,
that was a grand entrance.
It
right?
was.
Right? Can't deny that. No problem at all.
Real quickly, because I can see Zolt's chomping at the bit with that background to talk about this.
Yeah, we're just jumping on the Steelers. I was giving them a big D minus for
Let's
I'm
this
gonna
disaster.
I'm not joking. Let me just make sure you freaking are aware. I am not joking for what I'm about to say. You know what my letter grade is for this? It's the letter O. Of fucking course they hired Mike McCarthy. Of
Right.
course they did.
I want to I saw this quote. I think it was over the weekend. It was after the signing, and it was, I can't remember who I saw it from, but it was Tomlin walking away and hiring McCarthy to replace him is like shitting your pants and then changing your shirt.
Wow. That's, oh, man. Wow.
Here's
Yeah.
my question. Is this seriously an attempt to bring Rodgers back for one more year?
That's
My question would be
basically what
why?
everybody, well, that's how the media wants to spin it right now. There's just no, they're just like, and I mean, I get it. He was a little emotional in his press conference because he's from Pittsburgh. That's who he rooted for. So, of course, he's emotional. He's excited. But, dude, it's kind of like called past your prime. It's not going to happen.
Motherfucker, he had the same prime as Tomlin. One damn chip, and that was it.
His prime was a long time ago.
The only prime I've ever that picture shows is prime rib. Okay, damn it.
That's good.
But listen, correct me if I'm wrong? I thought Rodgers and him didn't have the greatest ending in Green Bay when McCarthy got booted. I don't know how this would be a chance to bring him back unless for some reason somebody goes with him on the dark retreat, drugs him, and says, "Yeah, I'll go play for him again."
Well, yeah, but just remember, I mean, as we learned about McCarthy in Dallas, he'll just do whatever the hell he's told anyway. So, I mean, that sounds like it would fit right in with Rodgers.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, well, and I mean, like, I don't want to take away from that. I mean, McCarthy has had, I mean, he's had success. The guy was good in Green Bay. He was good in Dallas. I mean, Dallas just doesn't win because, I mean, look at their ownership. Let's talk. We can get to that another day, but I just they had the chance to finally change up some things and get a different era in Pittsburgh, and they just go back to the same shit.
And a lot of Pittsburgh fans are just losing their shit right now. They're losing their minds.
I mean,
It's like, oh, fire Tomlin, fire Tomlin. Here you go.
yeah, I mean, let's face it, that Tomlin didn't walk because people were saying fire him. Tomlin walked because this team is.
Say it.
I
Yeah.
don't want to say it's the worst it's ever been, but it certainly is on the shakiest ground I think I've ever seen.
I said right now between Cleveland's ownership screwing up so bad with this coaching thing is like Jed York over in San Francisco. And then the rest of the team and everything as far as what it can be is exactly what Pittsburgh is falling into the trap of. You're going to have two really horrifying teams in the AFC North, and it's not going to be Cincinnati.
Right. Until Burrow decides he demands a trade.
Right. Exactly. But I mean, this is just god awful. I mean, yes, I understand Cleveland is pretty much, the writing I think has been on the wall since everybody kept screaming for Stefanski to be fired. Fine. I said it before that. I said, let Jim Schwartz take over. I said, why mess with my defense? Go find yourself a great OC. Just leave the DM defense alone and let him worry about the defense. He doesn't have to worry about the offense. Just nail the OC and I'm good. I don't mind Schwartz. And I know, Zolt, I know you guys have already had him and had that turn of the worst, but I mean, Jesus, even that Lions team was just brutal.
I mean, I'm 100% willing to accept the possibility that your second time around, you've learned from what you've done previously. I will say, though, I'm going to take slight issue with the don't mess with the defense, make him your head coach. Making him your head coach is going to mess with your defense.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay.
But I think, and just like you said, and Sam even said about Robert earlier, you're hoping you learned from your mistakes when you did this trick the first time around.
Right.
And that you can make those adjustments to proceed being the head guy and going for it on round 2.
Yeah.
I just thought of the funniest fucking thing ever.
The Raiders still not having a head coach going into minicamp?
No, I already have a feeling who that's going to be.
Yeah, I think.
Who?
I think we agree.
I think it's going to be Kubiak.
I agree.
Really?
They're gonna throw the
Which one?
Clint.
Oh, you think it's going to be Clint?
Yeah, I think Clay's still a little bit needs a little more seasoning. I think Clint's going to be a fucking good coach. And if you give him Mendoza and Bowers and fucking Genty, oh fucking Christ help us all.
Yeah, but what if Clint don't want to leave?
Yeah, I said the same thing about Kellen Moore last year, but look how that fucking turned out.
Touche.
I'm thinking if he didn't want to at least explore becoming a head coach, there wouldn't be teams waiting.
Yeah, like it's obvious the Raiders are waiting.
Yes, it is very obvious.
It's obvious. Like, come on.
I was going to say, and who gets him between Arizona or the Raiders?
He ain't going to Arizona. Get the fucking. Arizona's owner is going to have to be the fucking coach with the way that dumpster fire is looking.
Yeah, there ain't.
Oh, you mean Phillip Rivers could have a second interview somewhere?
Wow.
Wow.
What did Zolt do for this to hate him?
Zolt, you're still there. It's asking. No, he's still there.
Zolt has left the building.
Well, his little box is still there, so
yeah, I see. Yeah, I see that's still there. Now, where did he go? Is the question.
I'm saying even green room wise, it just says he's offline, but he's there. Oh, he's talking, but we can't hear him.
He's talking.
I see the little ring behind him.
You see the little beatbox going in his thing. Yep, we can. He's talking. We can't see him, and we can't hear him.
Yeah, and it says he's offline again. Do. Oop! Now he.
Wow.
Huh. Yeah, he just shows he's. It still shows he's in the green room. That's the crazy part.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are experiencing some fun times here on DA After Dark.
Oh, now he disappeared out of the green room.
He
may have had to reboot. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, he probably had to reboot. All right, well, I want to hold that
Kubiak.
Yeah.
I would need to double check that, but I think Cleveland also interviewed him.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did.
Clint, they interviewed. No, they interviewed Clint last year. They did not this year. And the reason they were looking at him was because of his experience working with Stefanski in Minnesota. Now, why did it do that again? Zolt, what are you doing, my man?
I'm just here hitting buttons. I'm going to start hitting random buttons now because, I mean, what the hell? It ain't going to go worse.
Hey.
Don't say that.
You're right.
Soon the whole thing's going to boot all of us.
Seriously, did the exact same thing that I did last week. I'm in the middle of typing, and it went to standby. Might be time to just turn off the power saver options completely.
Ah.
All right, so I know we're still talking about Kubiak for a sec, but I kind of have, here's my funny Jim Schwartz idea. Now, I think what we should honestly have changed the name of this to, instead of DA After Dark, we should have just turned this into the Jim Schwartz Bowl, because all of us have had Jim Schwartz a part of our organizations at one point. He was in Detroit. Now he's in Cleveland. He was my defensive coordinator when we won our first Super Bowl. Do you think Jim would flip the script from the 2017 Eagles and give either Doug Peterson or Frank Reich a call? Because again, listen, I'm not trying to sound like an asshole.
I mean, both guys
These
can
aren't winning
work
now
with
coaching moves, but you don't need to win now. You need to get through the hell that Deshaun Watson put you in.
Well, and you need to develop a quarterbacks. And both guys technically can work on that.
Do I need to bring up stories of 2017 Jesus himself, known as Carson Wentz? I need to bring up to the two greatest games Nick Foles ever played?
Right. Well, like I said, so yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be mad at it.
And like that's the thing. They've both been head coaches. They've both won a championship. Doug, of course, was around Andy. It gives you adults in the room, which clearly Haslam needs some adults in his room because he's a fucking immature idiot.
Yeah,
and like I said, look, get through the Watson stuff. If you suck the year you're about to get out of the Watson stuff, you clean house and go find your Mike McDonald, your Jesse Minter, your something like that. Your version of Joe Brady or whoever you want, or your Ben Johnson, whatever. Put it however you want. That's when you start. Right now, you need to get through this hellhole until Haslam puts you in another one.
Well, the thing about big time. The thing about this is that
Kirk Cousins is available. I'll sign up.
Haslam wanted to make the splash. He thought he was making the splash. It's draft day movie. Make a splash. Well, Haslam thought he was making a splash when they went to go trade for Watson.
They wish he was Bo Callahan.
And it was, like I said, at the time, you had Baker Mayfield. Yes, you forced him to pretty much play through the injury that whole season instead of letting him take the time off and turn around and come back healthy the next year. But no, you were impatient, and look at the crap you're sitting in right now because you didn't want to be patient.
I don't think you're sitting in it. I think you're living in it. You're walking in it. You're breathing in it.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, that's the massive disaster that they're in right now. And they've got to be in it for another 2 years. That's a bigger problem.
I think I'm in a time capsule right now. I think I'm going back to 2016 because I'm watching Paul George just splash every 3-point shot he takes. Jesus.
So we were going through giving each of the teams grades, Dave, is what we were just finishing up this segue with when you popped in there. It's just ironic you popped in right as we were talking about Pittsburgh. It's beautifully done, sir, as always.
Then he popped right out.
Yeah.
Yes. I said my piece, and then I pieced out.
Anybody you think is the run? Go ahead and run through your grades real quick if you want.
I think the Giants did really well. I think Minter in Baltimore is going to work out really well. Don't know what the hell Buffalo's doing. I feel bad for Robert Saleh because to go from the Jets to the Titans, I mean, it'd be really nice. I mean, at least he's had a stint in San Francisco, so he knows what teams are supposed to look like. I feel okay with Atlanta and Stefanski.
Oh, I do too.
I don't know what the hell the Steelers think they're doing. I don't know what the hell Miami's doing. I don't think Miami even knows what the hell they're going to do this offseason. I don't think they have a clue. Buffalo.
I gave them D for dummies.
Hold on. Zolt's about to go off.
Buffalo. So, let me get this straight.
We gave them D's.
Okay, hang on, though. Hang on.
Okay.
It's not just the guy. Because you went and you fired your head coach because despite always making the playoffs, couldn't get over the hump. I get that. And we've discussed that. If that's your rationale, I understand. Again, you promoted your GM. And then you went and decided to insult a member of your roster that you picked as GM. Do we honestly think that the previous head coach was the factor in making that pick, the defensive head coach? Or do we think that maybe the offensive coordinator might have had, hey, this is the guy that's going to fit my offense. This is an all-star guy. This is the guy with all the tools. Go get him. Because I don't think Sean McDermott was the guy in the room saying, I need this wide receiver. I mean, if he was doing it because that's what he was told. So I really question the fact that we need to change things up because we can't get over the hump. So let's promote the offensive coordinator.
Well,
you're not changing anything up.
Right. I was going to say, and you've got to put butts in the seats in that new stadium. And you weirdly promoted within. You gave your GM the president job as well. And then now you're promoting your OC who was the screw up in play calling to the HC.
Right. It just, I don't know. I don't know what the hell they're doing there. I really don't.
I mean, but like you said, I mean, at least it's some consistency.
I'm here. Relax.
You say, what the hell?
Mildly under the weather. I didn't need y'all staring at me while I blew my nose.
Okay. Hey, I just muted the mic and blew my nose. I didn't care. No, but I mean, at least it's some consistency, and that's why I turned around and said I felt it was a B, because it was still the offensive consistency with Josh Allen, and you're not making him go through the whole crazy rigmarole of, all right, I got to get new philosophy, new language, and all this and that and the other. So, yeah, it's a little weird, but just to keep the consistency factor, and hopefully you've got a better DC on the way.
So was it the defense? Was it the defense then that caused the problems of not getting over the hump?
Well, I mean, let's be real. They did allow the Chiefs a few years ago to go down the field in 13 goddamn seconds.
And that's fair. But as I recall from this previous loss, I don't think it was the defense that was the problem. I think it was the 4 turnovers by the offense.
Well, yes.
If you're going to sit here and say we need to change things up, we need to shake things up, why the hell are you only getting rid of one guy?
But I will now, in defense, I will say this though, Zolt. Even though yes, he had the 4 turnovers, they still lost the game 33-30. So it's not like again McDermott's unit was lights out.
That's fair.
And again, like I said earlier, I understand. Like yeah, on the surface it doesn't make a whole lot of sense because again you're firing a guy, but now you're promoting his offensive coordinator. But again, still a team with the lack of weapons they have on the outside. Best run game in the league last year, tie for fourth in points per game, tie for third in total yards.
Honestly, I compare it to the Cleveland situation. You fire Stefanski, and you're just going to hire his DC? Yes, because we all know where the strength of that team is.
Yeah.
When you're going to play the Browns, you know what the hell you have to look out for.
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to keep your quarterback upright, and most of the time you're not going to succeed. So I understand that. I don't get this move. I mean, congrats to Joe Brady and everything. I know he's been trying to become a head coach now for multiple cycles, but it feels off for some reason. And maybe that's just going back to the original press conference where you're promoting your GM after the team failed.
So they clearly interviewed Brady first, then they went to Dable. Are we pretty sure maybe they went to Josh and said, "Hey,
who do you want?"
Distinct possibility. It's definitely possible.
Because I mean, let's be honest. I know Dable did what Josh Allen's played his best football with Joe Brady as his offensive coordinator. And by the way, George, were you the one that brought up what Buffalo may do with their defensive coordinator?
Yeah.
This was 7 hours ago from Adam Schefter. Broncos pass game coordinator Jim Leonard is expected to be the leading candidate to become their new defensive coordinator.
Okay.
I feel obviously that's probably an upgrade in systems, but at the same time, you still need the personnel to run it.
Right.
He's not bringing the Broncos defense over there with him.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
What in the hell?
What's going on?
Seriously, my screens just went black again.
Well, we can see you.
I got it back. Yeah, I'm here. I got it back. It's just
you got to turn off that snooze feature,
sir. Yes, yes. Turn off snooze feature. Throw computer out window. Yes, one of these options is going to happen.
HOA violation.
Shush. I have an in.
Sir, you cannot have a computer on the lawn in the middle of freezy January.
To be fair, it's only on the lawn because it didn't make it to the street.
Oh my god! But yeah, like I said, it's going to be like this whole thing is just it's questionable. But
I mean, this is literally 1/3 of the league needed new head coaches. And that's just ridiculous.
Okay. I will say this. I don't necessarily know that Baltimore needed a new head coach. I get the feeling, regardless of what they say, I really think that came down to Lamar versus Harbaugh, and Harbaugh lost.
Yeah.
Hold on.
And Anthony brought it up. He goes, Anthony brought it up earlier. He's like, he gives Lamar 2 years and then they'll trade him. I don't think he's going to be worth anything in 2 years.
I was going to say he turns 30 this year. So, although to be fair, I literally just read the exact same comment about Josh Allen. Because Josh Allen occasionally gets compared to Cam Newton, and they said this is exactly where Cam Newton just kind of fell off.
I mean, and I mean, that's kind of the crazy thing. And of course, everybody's been saying it for the past 24 to 48 hours. Sam Darnold was in that quarterback class, and he's the one who's going to the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hold
on.
Isn't that interesting?
George, pull that comment he brought up a minute ago about the Broncos. So, Anthony, Joe Lombardi was not fired because of what happened in the AFC title game. First of all, Joe Lombardi is the offensive coordinator. Yes, he does not call plays. That is Sean Payton. So what
That's Peyton's deal.
the Broncos fired Lombardi because they are trying to retain quarterback coach and pass game coordinator Davis Webb, who interviewed for the Bills job. Clearly didn't get it. He's also interviewed for the Raiders job, and I still think they're going to go Kubiak, so I don't think anything's going to come out of that. But he was also receiving interview requests for the offensive coordinator positions with the Ravens, Eagles, and Giants. So this was a way for Denver to fire Lombardi so they can promote Davis Webb without losing him. That was why Lombardi was fired. It was not because of what happened in the AFC Championship game. If you wanted to fire somebody over the AFC Championship game, that would have been Sean Payton. But yeah, that's why Joe Lombardi got fired. It was not because of the freaking AFC title game. Lombardi doesn't even call the plays. Now this is their way of retaining Davis Webb, because now the only thing though is I'm pretty sure if you're an offensive coordinator but you don't call plays on your current team, you can still make a lateral move if you get play calling duties, because that is considered in the NFL rulebook a promotion. So if Webb just wants to stay in Denver and develop his coaching career, he could just say, yes, I'm going to stay. I'll take the OC job here. I'll learn under Sean. I'll go back out in the cycle another time, maybe just to be a head coach. But if he wants to start being a play caller, he can make the move just to, for example, to the Giants or Eagles, because he would call plays, because that would be a promotion. Make that make sense in your head one night while you're sitting in bed thinking about life.
Well, apparently you've thought about it.
Shut up. I fired my OC 2 weeks ago, still don't have an answer. Of course I've been thinking about it, damn it.
Have you guys even interviewed anybody?
We've interviewed like 17 people.
Okay, just checking.
And the report came out today. They've yet to offer anyone the job. What the hell are we waiting for?
The problem is they keep letting them talk to AJ Brown, and then everybody just says, nah, I'm good.
Fuck him.
Oh, man.
Only wants to talk to the media when life isn't going his way.
Okay. I mentioned it. We definitely got to get to it. Super Bowl 60. Bryce called it at the beginning of the playoffs. I cannot believe that he nailed it. Thanks, Sean Payton, for making my life even more miserable, because as I went to bed, I had to get to bed at the end of the third quarter. So because of early work the next morning. But it was hilarious to find out that nobody scored in the fourth quarter, because Bryce called and woke me up and goes, yeah, I called it. Didn't I not call it? And I was like, what? And he goes, well, the Seahawks won, and he gave me the score. And I went, that was the score at the end of the third quarter. You mean to tell me after all that scoring for the first three quarters, nobody scored in the fourth? I was like, wait a minute. What I miss?
I will say, with that game, I'm watching the Rams, and I'm just like, okay, I 100% understand what we're doing here. We are keeping up, and then get that key stop, take the lead in the fourth quarter. They just forgot the whole second part of that, where you're supposed to get a key stop and then take over.
That's Chris Shula's specialty.
And for the way, after going back and watching the replay, the way that Seattle just killed the clock in the last 5 minutes was some serious impressive stuff right there. That was impressive. That was truly impressive. Yeah. I was just like, wow, that's nice. That's really well done.
I mean, Seattle was just impressive overall. Is a very well-rounded team. And as much as I bag on Sam Darnold, I mean, that was his game. I mean, there's no doubt about it. It's not like the previous week where,
yeah. The other bye week, as Bryce has been saying, oh, we got a bye week. Oh, we get another bye week next week. Yeah. And then when it came to the Rams, he goes, oh, we get a third bye week in a row. I'm going, no, you're going to have to work for this one.
Rams are not the bye week.
You're not going to get a bye. But here's the best part about what I even watched through that first three quarters. That ball got spread around evenly, distributed very well between running game and passing game. I said, talk about an all-around performance. I said, this is pretty good stuff. And for as bad as the Patriots were in the past two games that they've played, I'm shocked that this spread is only 3.5. But I think Vegas is trying to make it out to be more of a game than what reality knows. This is not going to be a close game.
I don't disagree with you. But the one thing I also wanted to bring up is, it's not just about like what Sam Darnold did on Sunday. He had to do that. Like, all right, yes, we brought up the Niners game. He didn't have to do much. Matthew Stafford threw for what, 340 and 3 touchdowns on Sunday? If Sam Darnold makes one freaking mistake in that game, it's over. It may be the game. And the fact that he matched Matthew Stafford play for play. In the previous, have we seen Sam Darnold the last 3 times they played the Rams? Not good, including last year when he was in Minnesota. Not good. He finally got to put the demon to rest and beat the Rams and do it with a convincing stat line. But I talked about on Friday, everything that I said came true. I said they had to keep Kenneth Walker involved in the game. He had over 100 all-purpose yards in the game. I said they have to get, because as awesome as that Rams defensive line is, it hasn't been very awesome lately. Jared Verse has been a ghost for almost a month, and I don't know where he went. I was told this was LT coming out of college. Now I don't know what the hell they're talking about. But the one thing I said is you have to get the vertical passing game going. Second play of the game, they throw a freaking 50-yard bomb to Shaheed, and then after that, it was the fucking JSN show.
Yep.
And then a little bit of Bobo and a little bit of Cooper Kupp. I
picked for my player of the game.
And he literally spread that ball around very well. Go ahead, Dave.
And something real quickly as well. The one thing Sam Darnold has learned a lot under Clint Kubiak, moves the pocket when there's nothing there. You don't got to run. You don't got to go running for first downs every play and hurt yourself. Move the pocket to the left, to the right. They honestly, just think of this, right? They were giving the ball to Darnold on that last drive. Like, we're not running this clock. Throw it. We're going to get first downs better right now throwing it than we are running it, because as good as Walker was in that game, he only averaged 3.3 yards a carry. He wasn't lighting them up on the ground. He had some solid runs, but he wasn't lighting them up. But they were putting that ball in Sam's hands, saying, look, just move the pocket, get a nice throw, get the first down, call it a day. Sam Darnold has what Clint Kubiak has done a good job with him this year.
I was going to say, just what he has done with that offense and minimizing weaknesses, hiding weaknesses, just the entire scheme. You can see why teams are waiting for him.
Can he hide the Raiders' weaknesses?
I think with what's left, when they win in 2 weeks, I think he's going to look at those 3 spots left and go, you know what? I think I'm good. We're going to run it back.
No, I would go to the Raiders. They have enough skill position guys. Mm-hmm. You have the number 1 overall pick.
Which will be Drew Aller.
Sure.
Okay.
The only way I'm backing out of that is if I ask them what their plans are with the number 1 pick and I didn't like what I heard. That's the only way I wouldn't take that job.
Well, and Brady's going to be in on that meeting.
Right.
I'm sorry, but as Tom Brady as a minority owner, I'm sure the other minority owner of the Raiders are going, well, we weren't invited to the NCAA CFP. We're not involved in any meetings. What the hell's Tom? What's so special about Tom? He's Tom effing Brady. Guess what?
Right.
Yeah, I think somebody's going to have a lot of input. Like I said, I'm shocked that it's only 3.5. I was more going to be leaning to the good old 7.5 to 8.
I just checked, and FanDuel now has it up to 4.5. So
did they jump it to 4.5? Yeah,
and 2 weeks to go.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, and their wonderful whole spiel of the logo colors and yeah, you know what? Flush that down the toilet.
You know how many colors are in that logo?
There's a lot of damn colors in that logo.
Now it's the photo of all the players looking at the trophy,
Yeah,
and that May and Darnold are the closest two to the.
Well, no, that's the other thing. They're only focusing on the left-hand side of that picture. They're not looking to Malik Neighbors and the other guys on the right-hand side of it who were closer to the stadium. So it's like, that wasn't what they were going to go with. So I was like, whatever.
That's fucked up because you know what? If Joe Shane is the GM there for another 10 years, that may be the closest to a Lombardi trophy Malik Neighbors gets to.
Wow.
That's right. I'm sure they'll just let him walk without giving him a new contract.
Comes to Philly, wins the Super Bowl. Yeah, that's usually how it goes with Giants.
Yeah.
Alrighty. We Zolt don't know if you happen to see it, but we already literally torched the dumpster fire that was the Pro Bowl a little earlier.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't need to be involved in that discussion.
Yeah, I was gonna save you the ugliness of that.
That's good. I don't need the rise in blood pressure. Neither did you, I'm sure.
Sam and I literally started to do a comic sketch. All right, well, let's get into our nitty gritty prime discussion for this episode. And of course, that is the wonderful nightmare that is the NCAA, NIL, and supposed tampering.
Are we really calling it supposed?
Alleged?
Is this really supposed?
Alleged. We'll go with alleged just because Ole Miss hasn't said a word.
No, they have been.
Other than supposedly, I did hear somebody off the record made a comment from the administration of Ole Miss. It's Matt Golden who's the coach, if I remember right.
Golding
said they just said Golding does what Golding does, and if that's your defense,
yeah.
Well,
interesting.
Can I say something about that?
Yeah.
Listen to this one. What does a baby learn from? Its mother. Who's a baby? If a baby snake learns from its mother snake, snakes learn from snakes. And who was their head coach about 3 months ago?
Yeah. Yep.
It looks like a duck, acts like a duck, and sounds like a duck. What is it? Usually Lane Kiffin.
Touche. But they said that there are penalties for this, that the NCAA doesn't enforce it.
Okay, so what I read today
Yep.
The NCAA has opened an investigation. These technically, assuming everything holds true with what Clemson has said, these would be level 2 infractions.
And I mean, Clemson had it down to the time stamp.
Yes.
Which
that really makes me feel like there's at least something here.
Yeah.
Now, who knows what happens from here? It's the NCAA. We might not get any word from them for 3 years from now. Because it's not a Big Ten school, so, we're not going to get all the leaks that we normally get.
Right.
It's just one of these situations where the NC2A, and we've said it numerous times on this show now, has completely abdicated their responsibility for policing, it seems, unless they take something personally. We all know, and I'm going to take it back to the Michigan thing, regardless of fault, we know the NCAA hated Jim Harbaugh. Because back before NIL was a thing, before the transfer portal was a thing, he was a massive advocate for both of them.
Mm-hmm.
And after being told numerous times to shut up, he refused because he's Jim Harbaugh. They're very happy they were able to get rid of him. So now, though, the question becomes, what do they do here? Because I don't think they wanted Dabo to go public with what he did. Maybe they attempted to go to the NC2A and just got no result whatsoever. And so they're going to go public, because really saying all that at a press conference, granted, that's a Dabo thing, but it just didn't feel like, oh, this is where we're bringing it up. This is how we're getting attention paid to it. Okay.
One of the basketball coaches also brought this up too over the past 24 hours.
Okay.
I apologize. I'm trying to find him. I know I had saved his reel, and because he said that he had a resolution, because he had brought up the fact that, these guys, if you are transferring and it's because of one of the reasons is, as far as, well, the coach was let go or the coach is leaving, then you get that one free move into the portal and then to go someplace else. But after that, it was, hey, this is going to cost you. And I don't want to hold this up, but he had brought that up about, because he also had mentioned that they needed to put the emphasis on, if you wanted to do that transfer and you had to sit out, you would get that 1 year of eligibility back, but only after you graduated from that school. And he said that will get more of these kids graduating from their colleges, rather than this being, well, we're just going to skip and do the portal, and we're going to play here my freshman year, going to play here my sophomore year, play here for my junior year, and then go over here for my senior year. And then, oh yeah, guess what? You never even bothered to get drafted into the NFL anyway, because you suck, because you couldn't decide where you were going to go play at. And everywhere you thought was going to be better, and it's not.
I do want to, you actually reminded me of something that when you were talking there, and I don't want to turn this into, because we actually had we have a topic, and the topic technically isn't let's bag on the SEC. That's not a topic, that's sport. But right. I will say I was literally just reading about LSU, who I think we know who that coach is, just accepted a transfer 2 weeks after the semester started and a week past the deadline the school gives for enrollees.
Right. And they said that should be the penalty is, hey, you have to sit because of that.
It's just amazing. It's amazing the rules that don't apply to 5-star left tackles. Not to mention again, I'm turning this into let's just hunt the SEC for a while. Alabama and the men's basketball team, you do know that they're currently playing. They have a player actively playing who's under contract to the NBA G League.
That's what the one basketball coach had brought up.
Yeah.
Is he said, if you're a pro anywhere, you have considered a pro level.
Right.
It doesn't matter that it's once you have gone pro, you are a pro. It doesn't matter what country, if it's the US or if it's Europe. Once you've declared professional, that's it. You can't go backwards.
Right. And to be fair, the NC2A ruled him ineligible. The issue here is that they took it to court and judge ruled that no, you got to let him play at least until this entire matter is decided. Not to mention the fact that, by the way, that judge happens to be a 6-figure donor to Alabama.
I was just going to say, and who does he donate to? Yeah. Shocker. Yeah. And I don't disagree with that. It's, we saw it already for some of the NFL guys this year. It's like, no, I'm not going to declare to go pro. I'm going to go back to school. Yeah, good move, dude. Good freaking move. I'm sorry, but I still think that, these guys should have to play through at least their junior years, no matter the sport. They have to play through their junior years before they can be drafted. Because the game speed is totally different at the pro level than what it is in the college level.
Yep.
By such a large margin.
Right.
And what's happening with all these rookies as they're getting up into the pro levels, you guys see 25 to 30% of these guys coming into the pros are getting cut, released, down to practice squads, and these guys were good college guys.
I mean, that's not new though.
But
it's
but only after 2 years versus 3 years is a big difference.
That is the big difference. And I mean, let's face it, you literally got to sit there and do the math. What percentage of high school students make it onto a college team? What percentage of college players make it to the NFL?
Right.
I mean, if you aren't already that top 0.5%, I mean, not to say you shouldn't chase your dream. Go for it. Just don't leave after 2 years and then realize that now I got nothing to fall back on.
I mean, why do you think the NBA kind of cracked down on stopping guys getting drafted right out of high school?
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry not to be a dick. I don't like to put the guy, look at Kwame fucking Brown. Guy was drafted out of high school. He fucking sucked. And then, I mean, what's the fallback?
Right.
Yeah, you're not going to find a LeBron James again.
To be fair, though, at least the NBA created the G League.
That is true.
I mean, they gave these guys somewhere to go to develop. I've always said it's like at some point the NFL is going to create a minor league, a developmental league, if that's what you want to call it. At some point, just because the amount of attrition you go through in a season, you would want to be able to call on a guy who's actually not just game shape, but has been actively playing. And sure, I mean, there's a reason he's in your developmental league, but He's been actively playing, and he's been actively playing against other guys that are on the cusp of NFL.
And that makes perfect sense. Look at Major League Baseball. How many teams? Let's use a perfect one for example. In Major League Baseball, I mean, George, you can chime in. I'm not trying to exclude you, but like, what's the one important thing you need in October?
Pitching.
You need
Pitching.
you need pitching.
Yeah.
Most likely bullpen arms, because I mean, we see these fucking managers now. It's like, all right, we're gonna start Max Scherzer for 2 innings. We're bringing this guy in for 2, this guy for 1. Guys, you know starters are allowed to go 6, right, jackasses? But that's not the point here. But have you ever seen the uptick in minor league free agent signings that are relief pitchers? And they sit them in AAA all year. But guess what? If someone gets hurt, they've got big league experience and they can throw out of the bullpen for a few weeks till this guy's healthy. And they just call him up and then they send him right back.
Yep.
You're telling me that the NFL would freaking obviously freaking benefit from doing that. George, what the hell are you doing?
Why are you on fire, George?
I don't know. I'm always on fire.
Did your pressure go up that much? Jesus Christ!
Wow.
he brought it to the show tonight. But like, it's like with the NFL. I mean, what's the most important thing in the NFL? I think the Eagles showed you this year: offensive line depth. Tell me not having a bunch of offensive linemen on a minor league development roster wouldn't help a team,
right? I mean,
so I mean, like,
if you had a true developmental league where it was a minor league, hey, you know, the Eagles own the Syracuse whatevers, you know, just something.
Pigeons. The Syracuse Pigeons.
Sure. You know, yeah, you have a whole different staff there, but I guarantee you're running the same system. So that you can just call up a guy and it's like, okay, same playbook, same play calls. We know the system. You plug it in. You just plug it and play. Yeah, sure, the talent level might not quite be there, but, you know, at least it's not my God, I haven't taken a snap in 8 months. What, George, what are you doing?
This is why. This is just...
No, and you know, if they don't get a beat on this right now, this is just going to get worse as it dribbles all the way down to high school.
Yeah. Okay. Taking
it the replacement players.
Yeah. Honestly, that's what it is. I mean, college has shown time and time again, their role is not as a developmental league. It's not, because that's just not what you're getting. You have too many schools with too many systems, too many different ways of doing things. It's not giving you the same thing as a minor league would. Not to say there's anything wrong with that. There should be a separation there. And everybody's looking at college now and being like, oh yeah, they're turning into a pro league. They're really not, because the NC2A is not a governing body that's actually doing anything right now. So it's hard to say they're any kind of league. I mean, who is it? Is it Sankey for the SEC? I can't even think of the Big Ten guys. I mean, those are the guys running the league right now. We're running college football.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of they both hate each other in their respective conferences so much that, you know, that's the only thing that's keeping it from we're just going to take what we want and go. The NC2A, I understand. Yeah, I get it. You lost some massive court fights. I totally get it. So now we're just abandoning enforcement completely? What are we doing?
No, it's just like the NFL when they had to sit down and go, all right, you've got rookie guys who are coming in, haven't even played a down in the NFL, and they're getting paid more money than second and third year guys, you know, and they just went, hold on, this is stupid. and they made the rookie contract structure. NIL needs to have the same damn thing. You have to have some sort of structured breakdown.
Well,
you just can't sit there and go, oh, well, we're going to give you $4 million. You'd sit there and offer that up to Bryce. Bryce would be like, I'm sorry, you're giving me what? 4? Well, if I'm worth 4, let me go call these guys over here. Let me see if I can get 6.
My biggest issue is, number one, you're literally trying to persuade a kid to come to your school that has already signed with another program and is taking classes and attending team meetings.
Right, which is another problem.
That is such a huge. How do you let that go? You can't let that go if it's the NC2A.
No.
You have to draw the line in the sand. You have rules against this. You need to enforce them. And they damn well better, because if they don't, you think it's a free-for-all now?
Oh, and you have to penalize the kid as harsh. You have to nail the kid. You have to hit this kid.
But that's how you could hit him. Back to what you were bringing up earlier. Okay, you committed to Clemson. Oh, now you want to go to Ole Miss? All right, jackass, you're not playing next year. Yeah, you lose your eligibility for this year.
Seriously, this offense, if this is what it is, and I understand they're only calling it a level 2, not a level 1. Regardless, your punishment needs to hit Ole Miss. It needs to hit the head coach, and it needs to hit the kid.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's so much that went wrong here that literally is just flat out against the rules. So make up your mind, NC2A. We either have rules or we don't. And I understand, oh, well, we don't have evidence. I guarantee you Dabo Swinney has evidence.
I was going to say, there's a lot of evidence. He gave you the full breakdown.
Yes.
He said he's got all of the text messages and the timestamps.
I was going to say, if he's got the timestamps, he's got the text messages.
Yeah, he's got timestamps. You've got the evidence. There's no ifs, ands, or buts in this. Sorry.
Here's the other thing. In terms of NIL, they need to basically make every school bring in a general fucking manager, because have these, and I mean, it's a fucking victim of it last year that James Franklin was running the NIL at Penn State.
Yeah, you can't.
Not only,
yeah,
no. Well, first of all, paying Liam Clifford $500,000 drives me nuts, but that's another story for another day. But the point here is, the guy's already responsible. What's the number for players on a college football roster?
For football?
Yes.
Is it 84? I think it's only around an extra 30 more than NFL. Right?
105 now. It was 85.
Okay,
but
it was
105. You can't have walk-ons anymore.
Huh?
What?
Oh, sorry. No, hang on. Up to 105 scholarships. That's
okay.
What 105 scholarships. Maximum number of players is also 105. So in theory, you could have no walk-ons.
Wow. Okay, so let's just look at this now. I am a head coach of a team. I am responsible for 105 kids throughout the whole season. I have to go out weekly. When I'm not coaching these guys, I have to go recruit at high schools, go all over the country and recruit. Yes, I have assistants that help me with that, but still, I have to go do the head recruiting. I got to make sure that these kids want to continue to come to my school. I got to deal with... Hold on, damn it. Hold on. I got to deal with athletic departments and fucking parents and donors. Oh, now I got to manage bank accounts? Get the hell out of here. Right. Every team, and this is why I know I keep using my teams as an example, but this is why Matt Campbell brought somebody from Iowa State saying, here's the NIL budget. You're fucking handling this. I will coach the football team, which is what my fucking job is. I am not a bank. I'm not a freaking accountant. I'm not anything else. I'm a football coach.
Yeah, pretty
there
sure
has to be more structure to this shit.
pretty sure Michigan brought in a GM 2 years ago.
Yeah. And Penn State, I don't really know if we would call him a GM at Penn State, but it's someone to manage the NIL so Campbell can worry about the team. It's like, this is too, like, and they just threw it on. Like, all right, guys, here's your NIL money. Coaches, you want to be in charge? Go ahead. Wait, what? Oh, by the way, we're opening up a transfer portal, so you want these kids to stay, you got to pay them. How the fuck do I know who I'm keeping or not? Okay, that's it.
And as we've discussed, transfer portal, just I understand the need to cut it down to one portal per year, but man, you picked the wrong time. You picked the wrong one to keep. Transfer portal should be late spring, early summer. That's when it needs to be.
Yep.
I'm very curious what the rationale was to keep the one portal in January.
Because they think that they can continue to get through these flawed calendars and shit and not be affected by it. And it's just becoming worse and worse.
I tell you what, if you are going to keep the portal, so whatever it is, January 7th, I think, if that's what you're going to keep it at, your national champion needs to be awarded on January 1st.
Yeah. Which means the season needs to start a week earlier in August, and we need to play every fucking weekend in December.
Right. We've had a couple of those coaches come out and say, we need to play on that week 0.
Yeah.
Guys,
it doesn't matter. You have to.
We have brought this up on this show 17 times. We could have saved the NCAA so much time in the past 3 months, but they're so damn stupid that they don't realize it.
Yeah.
Get rid of conference championships.
Well, and you don't need bye weeks. You don't need bye weeks.
Get rid of your bye week. Get rid of the college football playoff bye week. All that does is hurt people.
Right.
Unless you're Indiana.
Unless they are the one team that it did not hurt.
Right. Yeah. Well, and that was the bigger kicker. And they were even saying, well, the one guy said, oh, if you've got your conference championships, then everybody in the playoffs, they were still going to play like the lower end of the top 25 for playoff points, and I was just like, well, that's stupid, because what if somebody gets injured during one of those games? I'm like, that doesn't mean squat. And then you have to go play the actual playoff game the next week. I'm like, no, you just get rid of it totally. And nobody earns a bye week. And you just play the top, you just lay out those 16 and go. I mean, they were already saying it's like you end the week before Thanksgiving weekend, and then Thanksgiving weekend, that's when you push round 1 of your playoffs. And that makes sense because, hello, holiday weekend, that's exactly what the heck you're wanting to do.
Yeah.
Why are you trying to limit yourself with only anywhere from 4, your 4 to 6 games? No, lay it all out and have your whole first round the holiday weekend. And then by the time you're done going through that with the next weeks in December, you take the Christmas week off, and then your championship game falls right in line with New Year's Day, just like it was meant to be, and you play your championship game. I mean, he had it laid out perfect. I said, abso-freaking-lutely.
And then this is where when Zolt was talking about which portal window, this is why you should back it up into the spring, because then after the season, we can have head coaches being hired, moved, fired. So we have from January to April to figure all that shit out. Yep. Then when April hits, all right, guys, portal's open. Do the hell what you want.
Well, he mentioned, he said that was the other thing, is there is 0 coaches making any moves during a playoff run. As far as all these other schools wanting to interview, he goes, You just line it up just like they do with the pros. You wait until after the Super Bowl's over, and then you can go. And I don't disagree with that either. I think they should absolutely have to wait.
Here's tangent, but still same topic.
Yeah.
Just I know, George, you're gonna hit there a hell of a lot sooner than I will. No, that's not an age joke this time. So when approximately does the average high schooler commit and sign paperwork to attend a school? I'm not even talking athlete. I'm talking just your run of the mill.
There
April-ish?
It's
March, April.
Some of the guys like currently, I'll utilize ours for example. We have had between even, ironically, even the cheerleaders. They have already gotten their letters and they have signed, pending on the sport.
Yeah, I'm not even talking sports. I'm just talking about, see, you are a run-of-the-mill incoming freshman in the fall. When are you signing your paper to go to the Ohio State University?
Usually after their
they've been accepted,
senior
obviously.
season. Yeah. Usually after their senior season is done in that sport is when they're making their.
So you're getting your acceptance letters probably April, May, maybe? My point is purely, shouldn't that align with National Signing Day? Doesn't that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It should.
I don't know. It does make sense.
It does make sense, right? I was going to say, like I said, you got a lot of these kids. Like even right now, even though we're midway through the basketball season, it's like, okay, we already know that, out of our seniors, they already know pretty much where they're going to go to. And it may not be on scholarship, but that's where they've, said, hey, I'm going here. So
no, I totally get athletes, high school athletes. Yeah, the decision-making process is a world apart from your typical, say, business student or LS&A student or whatever. I totally understand that. It's just a matter of, why the hell is National Signing Day where it is? You don't have to have it there. It's an arbitrary date.
Right.
You could push that thing back an extra 2 months. No, it's going to make zero difference, except the coach has to change how he prepares. And I'm kind of referencing this in regards to moving the transfer portal. Where do you move the transfer portal to in relation to National Signing Day?
When is it this year?
National Signing Day is almost always in February, right?
I was going to say, was it going to be? It is February 4th.
Okay. So it's
coming up a week. Yeah. Oh, damn. Coming up quick.
But again, why first week of February? Like literally the current semester is, you're like 3, 4, maybe 4 weeks in at that point.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, we're just about that. Yeah.
It strikes me strange. And obviously this is 100% football related. Well, we just saw the end of the senior year. So we know, if we still want you.
Right.
It just things like that I don't like, things that are catered to specific sports departments, etc. High schoolers are high schoolers. They should be allowed to be high schoolers.
Yeah.
And boy, did we take that topic off in a random direction.
Hey,
we knew that was going to go off somewhere.
Yeah, that's true. It's not like we don't do that all the time.
But no, yeah, they're especially during the portal. If you're going to commit to a new school, that's fine. But if you're going to do what this kid did, I'm sorry. Okay, Ole Miss wants you that bad. Good, you can't play that this year now.
Yeah, and
You lose that eligibility.
why didn't they come and try to get you before? What was the holdup?
Good question.
Yeah.
If it hisses and has a rattler, what the hell? If it looks like one and sounds like one, what the hell is it?
No, but it's the point of it is why didn't Ole Miss try to go after him sooner?
Only thing I can think of is new coach took him a minute to get organized and figure out exactly what his needs were, and then realize he had a glaring need. And it's like, okay, how do we fix this? Oh, well, this kid, let's go get him from Clemson.
They were too busy trying to stick it to Lane Kiffin for the past month.
Oh, I mean, and I understand and respect that.
Yeah, so do I, because as always, I will be the guy every week on DA to say this, fuck Lane Kiffin. But, and I mean, if you don't want to take the eligibility away, then it's like, okay, you go to the portal. If you agree to the deal, you sign the deal, you sign.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, I agree.
I mean, the NFL literally has something called a legal tampering period, which, by the way, is also a broken system. All right, guys, legal tampering starts at 4 p.m. on this day, and by 4:01, someone has already signed. Fuck you, you're lying. Oh, the deal just came together that quickly. My ass. But, if you signed the deal, you signed the deal.
That's the biggest, I'm just going to walk away from the rules. Why'd you create this legal tampering period? I can't remember. It's actually called something other than that. I'm trying to remember what it's called, but it ain't that. But regardless, why did you create this? Well, we kind of could tell that when people were signing at like 12:01 that, there was negotiations happening before that. So people were breaking the rules. So instead of, going after the people that are breaking the rules, you're just going to adjust the rule to make it legal.
Well, that was like last off season when we signed Saquon. Because remember, DeAndre Swift was our running back the year prior. So it was like excuse me.
Bless you.
But thank you. But here's the funny thing. Legal tampering started at 4 p.m. that Monday. And at 2:30, there was Eagles are optimistic that DeAndre Swift could be back this upcoming season. Boy, am I happy he didn't. But anyway.
Well, no, I'm going to say he did very well in Chicago, though. And
I understand.
Again, though, I believe that it's because of Ben's system.
That's not the point I'm trying to make here. The point I'm trying to make here was when the day of legal tampering, when he was in Philly the year prior, they were like, all right, an hour before tampering, Eagles are optimistic they will keep DeAndre Swift. And 60 seconds into legal tampering, he was signed. That's the point I'm trying to make. You're telling me that first of all, it takes about 5 seconds for someone to answer the goddamn phone anyway. So you're telling me we got this shit done in 55 damn seconds? Get the fuck out of here.
And I was going to say, we learned from the John Gruden emails that there's always somebody talking to somebody.
I thought the point you're trying to make is that Joe Schoen's an idiot.
Well, that too. Yeah, good job, Sam.
I could have told you that one. Listen, my goddaughter's is only a year old, and she could fucking tell you Joe Shane's an idiot.
I do have a brief fill in the blank if we'd like to hit it.
Hang on.
What did you do?
Hang on. I got it. No, it's again, I didn't. Let me go fix this real quick. Let me fix this quickly so that I can.
We need to have We have to have a board meeting about our producer here, Zolt. We're having some
No,
problems
it's again, it's that the new system and
making decisions without bringing
it
it to our
doesn't.
attention. Hey guys, switch the whole streaming software. By the way,
It's like
we're gonna have to have Zolt and I
well,
are gonna
like I
have some
said,
illegal
if
tampering negotiations about George.
it's just very odd that it just doesn't want to retain your guys's. I mean, it's not like we're in a different link.
We get you want to be star of the show, George. We get it. You don't have to fucking lie to us.
Whatever.
We'll get to the fill in the blank. George should fill in the screens.
There you go.
There we go.
Okay. Maybe. There it is.
Maybe.
Sort of.
Kind of.
There we go.
Oh, what the
this is going to be more fun than obviously we're trying to.
The hell?
Okay. So
fun for who, Zolt? Who is this fun for?
Highest and lowest percentage of yards, passing yards, that were yards after catch. So if Pat Mahomes had 4,000 yards, but 3,000 of them were after the catch, he would have been, number one on this list. Let's see if I can make this a little bit.
So the highest and lowest percentage of passing yards made up of yards. Oh, God.
Who do we think had yards after catch? As opposed to who got most of their numbers with actual air yards?
I'll go with CeeDee Lamb to start.
No, the quarterbacks. This is quarterbacks.
Oh, quarterbacks? I'll go Prescott.
Dak.
Let's go Dak one time.
Dak is not the lowest. He's also not the highest.
All right, well, I'm going to take a stab at the highest. Is the highest Jared Goff?
Is not Jared Goff. Jared Goff did not make either list.
Oh, wow.
This is minimum 250 attempts, which...
It's like I see that fuckers getting yak yards all the fucking time. Holy shit. Wait a minute. Is the highest one Tua?
No, the highest is not Tua. He did make the top 5, though.
Wow.
Come on. They run 8-yard curls and then Waddle and Hill just run.
Right.
Let's go with Sam Darnold then.
Sam Darnold did not make it.
Huh.
Brock Purdy?
Okay, so as much as it pains me to say,
leads the bottom.
He's at the very top of the second column. Nice.
No,
38%, the lowest in the league.
The lowest in the league.
So most of his yards were straight up air yards.
Well, we know somebody's got an arm. Damn. Well, then we'll go Josh Allen. Then
Mr. Allen, not on the list.
I would say they don't have enough passing yards to be on the list.
Did he have minimum 250 attempts?
Jalen Hurts?
Jalen Hurts is on the list.
Oh.
And they say my guy can't throw the fucking ball. Kiss my ass.
I was gonna say somebody foobarred that.
Did Burrow make the list or no?
Burrow did not make the list.
I didn't think so.
I will say of the lowest percentage, 2 of those 3 that are left were playoff teams.
Trevor Lawrence.
T-Law did not make the list, nor did he make the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, that was one thing we were saying is Lamar must have said no. CJ
Yes,
had to
right.
have said no. Trevor had to have said no. Josh
Right.
Allen had to say no. We said that everybody had to say no for them to get all the way down to Sanders.
Right.
Speaking of which, throw just for shits and giggles, what about Sanders?
There ain't nobody from Cleveland on this list.
Okay, good. So I don't have to worry about Flacco either.
Nope.
Okay.
Or Gabriel.
Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, I figured.
Top dog. Almost 64% of his passing yards were after the catch.
Yep. Because
I'm pretty sure.
Dunk.
And I'm probably sure that 80% of those were DKs because it's the only fucking wide receiver they got.
Right.
Geno Smith?
Now, wait a minute. Is that yards after catch for the other team?
Perhaps. No, because then he'd be at like 70%.
Good guess, though, George. Good guess.
Well, I was just trying to think who else dink and dunks, and yeah, the Raiders did a lot of it.
Is Baker on this list?
Baker is not on this list.
No,
I fucking know it.
Oh
wait, dink and dunk. Bryce Young.
Bryce Young did not make it.
God damn it, Bryce.
Huh. I was going to say, I thought that was going to be a good guess.
Is Jordan... Oh, no, whoa. Back up.
Jordan Love?
Caleb Williams. Yeah, I was going to say Jordan Love, but
Jordan Love's a no.
Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams is also a no.
Ooh.
Who's on this list? Marcus Mariota?
Marcus Mariota is a no.
He fucking better not be after that shit.
All right, so 2 on the left.
Jackson Dart?
Jackson Dart did not make the list.
Sir, this is not concussions.
Right.
He said 250 attempts.
Of getting concussed.
So on the left, you have an NFC and an AFC. On the
God.
On the right, you have 2 NFC, 1 AFC.
Is Drake May on this list?
Drake May is at 39.7%.
Okay.
Ooh, Cannon.
I mean, the guy's completed 75% of his passes this year, for God's sakes.
Wait a sec. So does that mean Kyler Murray's on this list?
No, Kyler Murray's not
on
this
list.
list.
Lord.
I was
Did
like,
he have 250 attempts?
Dinking and dunking. Yeah, respawning on his Call of Duty. Sorry, couldn't resist that one.
Matthew Stafford?
I thought you guessed him already.
No.
Oh, well, that's the only reason I didn't. I thought you already mentioned him.
No, I never brought up Stafford.
Okay, so the 40.5% non-playoff team.
Mahomes?
Nope.
Okay.
You said NFC was this last one. Correct?
You are correct. It is the NFC for the last one.
Jaden Daniels didn't play long enough.
Nope.
There ain't nobody on.
JJ didn't play long enough.
Definitely not JJ.
There ain't nobody from Atlanta on this list, right?
Really?
Is it Penix?
Made this list?
Penix did not make the list.
Kirk Cousins did not make this fucking list.
There's
What?
no way. Get out of here.
Oh, Stefanski's going to make him a freaking Pro Bowler again.
Oh, my God. Oh,
wait,
shit, Sam. I didn't think about that.
Wait
a second. Who was Minnesota's quarterback?
When did Stefanski take the job?
That's what I was just going to say. Hang on.
I feel like they...
Checking. Hang on.
Okay. Hold on. So, I know Stefanski was in Minnesota in the year we won the Super Bowl. That was Case Keenum. So, Kirk was still in Washington. All right, you look up Stefanski.
He has a deep history with quarterback Kirk Cousins from their time together with the Minnesota Vikings. Well,
oh my God,
buddy. Yep, Stefanski served as the Vikings quarterback coach and OC from 2018 and 2019, overseeing some of the most productive years of Cousins' career.
All right, so he was with Cousins for 1 year. Do you want to hear his numbers from that year? 4,298 passing yards, 30 touchdowns. Oh my God, the Falcons are winning the fucking South. Son of a bitch.
God. I said that already. I had called that already. I called it when we were going over that. Oh my God. I didn't think about that. Holy crap. Well, looks like the Falcons get an A+.
If we can bring this back to the fill in the blank.
Sorry.
We're almost done.
Sure.
Sorry, but that's, oh my God. That is just a reality check that we didn't think about. And oh boy.
We got to clip that.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so on the right-hand side, we got the one left, non-playoff team, NFC. The one on the left, 53.2%. All I'm going to say is playoff team.
Justin Herbert.
No.
Well, the other NFC not in, is that the New Orleans kid?
Can neither confirm or deny the player played for New Orleans. I'm going to need a name, sir.
The
Shuck?
Yeah.
It's not Shuck.
It's Spencer fucking Rattler. God damn it! I
was going to say that's the only team we hadn't scoured right there.
I miss Kellen Moore, man. Motherfucker got Spencer Rattler playing decent football. I miss him, man. Saints.
So what do we got left? You said playoff team.
Playoff team.
This ain't CJ Stroud, is it?
It is not CJ Stroud. That is a good guess. He would be on this list except for the times that Nico got hurt.
Yeah. Trevor Lawrence, we said, and that was a no.
Correct.
Is it Daniel Jones?
Not
playoff
Danny
team.
Dimes. Yeah, yeah.
It's a playoff team, George. Colts didn't make the playoffs.
First half of the year, they made the playoffs.
Right. Yeah. Right. We went through Bo Nix.
Oh, good guess. Good guess, George.
That Kirk Cousins thing. Oh my God.
I'm going to go back and rewatch that whole freaking thing. I cannot believe it.
Wow, we never put that 2 and 2 together, did we?
Yeah, we did at 11 o'clock at night.
Day late and $1 short.
Sounds like a special.
That made the Atlanta hire just a lot more interesting, and nobody came to the realization, except for us, a day late and $1 short. But hey, at least we came across it. I'm sure everybody in Atlanta and the Atlanta talk radio and Atlanta podcasters are going, hey, look at this. And we Northerners just never thought about it. That is extremely interesting. Now I'm very concerned. But I did say, because of the Stefanski hire, I said that the Falcons would be the division champs going into next year. Now I really feel confident about that. I really do. For some weird reason, I'm really feeling a little bit stronger about that. Hazel, you think I can sucker Suds into drafting some Falcons this year?
I mean, all you got to do is act like you want them.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do.
Maybe I'll even wear that Matt Ryan. I'll break
There
out
you
that
go.
Matt Ryan Falcons jersey just to hinder him and suck him into it. Although then again, I did draft his stupid team on the DA thing, and look how that worked out for us.
Right.
Yeah. That crap ain't happening next year. Anything else, result?
I don't think I have anything else to cover. No, I'm good.
Alrighty. Well, thanks everybody. Anthony, Sean, thanks for catching in with us. That was pretty cool to see you early on, my friend. Great to see you. Anthony, of course, as always, kicking in some conversations. I know there was one he brought that up way early. What grade, and I apologize, Anthony, we never got back to that. What grade do you give Drake May during this playoff run?
C-.
If that. I mean, but now there's
generous.
this. Yeah, but now there's this speculation with him having a shoulder injury. And when Vrabel was asked about it, he said, well, everybody's not 100% right now, which kind of tells me, yeah, maybe there was something there.
Yeah, but if you can remember, Vrabel has learned from what coach? Who rarely says anything. He doesn't say much. Vrabel knows when to talk and when not to talk.
I wish I was like that.
You said it. I didn't.
Say goodnight.
That takes care of the 4 minutes. Say goodnight, Grayson.
Good night.
Good night. That's it. Say goodnight, Gracie.
Good night.
Good night.
So I said, well, flip a coin. And if it comes out heads, have your hair dyed.
And if it comes out tails, say goodnight, Gracie.